Hey guys, it's Ben here. I just want to take a couple minutes to show you a quick behind the scenes of a site called Fizzle. So I started using Fizzle myself as kind of a good resource for business building and that sort of thing. And it might be something you've never heard of. And if that's the case, I'll tell you a little bit about it. And it also might be something that you have heard of but have never taken a chance to give it a try. So if that's the case, then I'll kind of give you the behind the scenes and show you what you might be getting into if you decided to take a look at it. So the first thing about Fizzle, so I've talked about them quite a bit before. I really like their podcast, and I've listened to their podcast for a really long time. And it's just called The Fizzle Show, and you can find it on iTunes or wherever you get your podcast from. And it's a really good podcast, so I highly recommend that. But I've never dug into their membership site, which is kind of what they're really all about, and that's where they have their courses and everything that they do. And the podcast is just a little small piece of that. So I've never really given it a shot, but after listening to the podcast for a couple of years, I decided to go for it. So I'll show you kind of what I've learned about it and the goods and the bads. I guess don't really have any bads. But here's what I've found. The first thing that Fizzle does is this thing called the roadmap. And that's kind of a start to finish guide for building a business. So if you have a business already, some kind of an online business or whatever it might be, you might find yourself somewhere along this line, this being the start, and this is the finish. You might find yourself somewhere along that line. Whereas if you don't, but it's something that kind of interests you or you want to do it on the side or whatever, then you kind of start at the beginning, getting an idea, and then taking it from there. And so we'll take a really quick look and just look at kind of the stages and what it's all about. But it's 9 stages from start to finish, and you kind of do little courses and that sort of thing to get you from one step to the next, and there's kind of activities and that sort of thing, so that you can kind of push yourself to the next level, and they kind of help you along the way. So that's the whole idea of it. The guys are really good, and they do awesome videos and things like that. And they've kind of been there, done that, so they have a lot of good advice and good ideas. So I highly recommend it. It's a pretty cool idea. And then the other thing that's really helpful about Fizzle is just a community. So there's lots of people that are part of the membership site that kind of just like me now pay the monthly fee and they join it. And they can all interact with each other and help each other out on the forum. So we'll take a quick second and check that out. But it's just kind of where everyone can ask each other questions and get feedback and help each other out, kind of thing. So you hop on here, there's questions to be asked, introduce yourself, everything from that to starting a mastermind group if you want. So that's kind of a cool place, or kind of a cool thing, so you can get gets people together, and there's a community there for you already. So that's cool. And then the other thing that I really like is just the courses themselves. They've got a huge library of courses that they've been doing for a really long time, from anything from just kind of starting out to really advanced stuff. So you can kind of hop on here, and you have access to the full library when you join. These videos are somewhere around an hour long, most of them. And kind of it covers everything, so a little bit of everything, so it's kind of cool. So you get access to all of that, and then another thing that they do that's cool is the founder stories, and this is kind of interviews with other business owners and that sort of thing. So I can flip through here. You might recognize a few of these people, but they just kind of do interviews with all of these people, and there's lots to be learned there as well, for sure. The other thing is a Fizzle Friday. So every Friday they accept a few people into kind of a webinar session, and you're able to ask them questions and that sort of thing, and get feedback directly from the guys. So it's Chase, Steph, and Corbett at the moment, and you can kind of sit down with one of them and get direct feedback from them, which is really cool. The other thing I was just going to mention really quick, so that's kind of everything. If nothing else, and you don't really want to join the membership site at the moment, you can be like I was for a long time and just listen to the podcast, or you can also check out their blog. There's all sorts of helpful stuff on here, and you don't have to don't have to pay anything at all. So that's pretty cool. And if you do want to try Fizzle, what I would recommend is you go to fizzle.co/try5, and that's either the number 5 or you can spell it out, but either one will take you there, and that gives you a 5-week trial. So that's pretty substantial. So you can definitely get in there, give it a test ride, see if you like it, see if it's for you, and if not, no harm done. But if you do decide to keep going after that, I believe it's $35 a month or $315 for a whole year. So yeah, definitely something to check out. I just wanted to give you kind of a really quick tour of what it's all about and what they have to offer, and there is a lot here. So you can, you can definitely get on there. And if it was, the only thing that you're gonna subscribe to, I would highly recommend it in terms of building business, and that online kind of stuff. Definitely a lot here, and I think this is kind of the one-stop shop, because you do have everything from courses to the community and the forum, and then they kind of guide you start to finish. So it's a huge benefit. I'd highly recommend it.